by Coach Helen Disley.
Hi everybody, I'm Helen Cernigliaro and this is Positive Space. And what we're going to be talking about tonight is the power of positive thinking and how to stay positive in a negative world. And I'll tell you, these past 2 years, has it been easy? I don't think so. There have been challenges left and right, up and down, all over the place. But I want you to know that we have choices, and choices are so very important in everything we do. And I want to tell you a little story before we even get started, that how I used my positive thinking to beat breast cancer. Now, short story made long, but just bear with me for a second. In March of 2020, when COVID first hit, I was diagnosed with breast cancer and everything shut down. My family could not come to see me. I did have family come for a surgery, and my family who lived out of the country could not come to see me. And I went through surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, and physical therapy by myself. So many people asked me, wow, asked me, how are you keeping such a positive attitude? How did you do it? I hope it all works out, which drove me crazy because hope implies doubt, and I don't deal with doubt. But people were so surprised at my attitude. And I'll tell you why I made it through. Because I realized in a crisis that I had a choice. And with that choice, I decided right at the get-go that I was going to make it. And I did. And I also decided I was going to sail through all of the treatments that I had to go through. A year of chemotherapy. I did it all on my own. And I decided I was going to make it and sail through, and I did. And I did. And I want you to know that you have a choice in how you go about everything you do, what you think. It's so important. And a lot of people like to stay in their comfort zone because it's easier. And when I give you some techniques to get you through whatever kind of crisis you might be going through, it's going to take effort, but you can do it. But I digress just for a moment. Sometimes people are going to be going through things that there's no way around it. I have a very dear friend who just lost her husband. And for me to say, just think positive, it wouldn't be right. So sometimes what you have to do is embrace the suck. Now, one of my friends gave me that phrase when I was going through all the stuff with the chemo and everything, but embracing the suck. And what that means is you lean into the pain. It is what it is. There's no going around it. You just got to go through it. But when you give up resistance and you just say, okay, I got to do this, it makes the pain a little bit less. You have a choice. Either you can fight it or go with it. That's one thing. But I want you to realize that, where was I? I'm so sorry. Your mindset is very, very important on a daily basis, okay? What's your mindset on a daily basis? What is it? Do you get up in the morning and you feel like it's drudgery to go to work, okay? You're not happy with anything? Or do you wake up and you're grateful for what you have? And I'll tell you something, you can be grateful for what you have. You have a roof over your head, you have food on the table, you have clothes on your back. That's something to be grateful for. I practice gratitude every day, 24/7. Don't I say thank you guys all the time?
Yeah!
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, I had to laugh. I always say thank you. And that's one thing I want you to realize, that when you say thank you to somebody, it's an exchange of energy. It's an exchange of love. Because when you say thank you, somebody most likely will say, you're welcome, no problem, no worries. It's an exchange. It's an exchange of love. And of course, we all want to be loved, right? So there's that. Now, staying positive in a negative world. I don't know about you guys, but did you watch the news all the time? I used to. But now I feel like I watch a little bit of it, and I just feel like it's important to know what's going on in the world, but I don't let it affect me anymore. What do you think? Anybody over there? What do you think?
I think you're right.
You're
because
absolutely right.
because the news, I mean, after all the challenges we have gone on with these past couple of years, what do we do? How do we get through it? There are so many things. Number one, I practice affirmations every day. Every day. Thank you, whoever, for another day. I wake up in gratitude, and I try to be grateful even for the littlest thing. A cup of coffee, petting my cat, walking my dog. That's really important. Anybody? Oh, I love that. Look at that. Gratitude, what fills your heart. I absolutely love that. Now, regarding your choice, I have a couple questions that I want to ask you, and I want you to answer it in your head. Now, the reason why I'm asking you to answer it in your head is because when you're sitting right next to somebody, you're going to color your answer no matter what you say. Even if it's your BFF for a gazillion years, you're still going to color it. So I have a question for you. What is your perception of your life? What's your perception of your life? Do you go around saying, I'm broke, I'm miserable? Guess what? What you focus on expands. What you throw out, you're going to get back. And if you think along those lines, that's the way your life is going to be. Makes sense, right? So what's your mindset on a daily basis, okay? Now, when I get up in the morning, I pre-pave my day. And what that means is I plan on how my day is going to go. After I say my gratitude and all that other kind of stuff, I plan to say, I'm going to have a really great day. I'm going to get this done and that done. I'm going to see this person and that person. And it all goes well. Because again, I have used my perception and my mindset. Oh my gosh, look at this. I love this. Wow, that looks awesome. That I love that my perceptions are going to make my day go well. Okay? So what is your perception on a daily basis? Are you miserable or are you grateful? Are you happy? That's the first thing. And who do you hang around with? That's my next thing. Who do you hang around with? Do these people, are they energy vampires? Do they suck the lifeblood right out of you? Or do they lift you up and support you and give you good energy? That you say you have an idea and they're going to say, hey, that's a great idea. Why don't you try that? Or do they just bring you down? Consider who you're hanging out with. That's key. And here's another question. How were you raised? Were you raised in a house there, money doesn't grow on trees, what about that? Or I'll give you something to cry about. Do you think that not colors you as you grow into adulthood? So that's really important too. So who do you hang out with? What's your perceptions? What's your mindset? And what about when you get a negative comment? What about that? When you get a negative comment from somebody, do you let it ruin your whole day? Or do you think about, is this really worth getting upset over? Is it going to matter in 5 minutes? Is it going to matter in an hour, in a week, 2 weeks, a month, a year? And with that, if it's not going to really matter, why are you letting it bother you? Now, when I was going through my breast cancer, okay, my treatments and everything like that, I learned not to worry so much anymore. I learned not to get mad so much anymore because I had more important things to think about. And I don't worry so much anymore. And worrying, what does worrying do to you? Aside give you an ulcer and a heart attack, what does worrying do? Because what we do when we worry or we fret about something, say you're fretting about something, that's in the past. It's in the past. Nothing you can do about it. And I don't know about you, but what happens is when somebody upsets me, because I'm only human. And remember, that's another thing, everybody. I'm only human. You're only human. Nobody's perfect. You never will be. But when somebody says something negative to you, I don't know about you, but yeah, I replay it again and again and again in my mind. What does that do? Because all we have is now. That's all we have. That's all we have. Now just passed. Now it's right now. But now just passed. But now we have is right now. Do you know what I mean? All we have is now. Okay? And the future, how many of us worry about the future? The future hasn't even happened yet. But what if we thought good thoughts about the future and enthusiastically looked to the future? because what you focus on expands. Because if you think you're going to end up miserable and alone, guess what? You're probably going to end up miserable and alone, because that's your mindset. So my thing is I try to show people how to change their mindset, okay? I used to consider myself a motivational speaker. I'm not that anymore. I'm an inspirational speaker. And what that means is if I can inspire you to perhaps think about a different way of thinking, to entertain another thought, then I've done my job. Anybody can motivate you. Anybody can get you to do something. Your dog can motivate you by walking up with a leash in his mouth and just say, "Roof, let's go for a walk." "Ooh, I need to exercise." Okay, and do that. I'm an inspirational speaker. I want you to think, okay? So the thing is back to the breast cancer. You know, when I was going through the treatments and everybody was saying, as I said, "Helen, you have such a positive attitude," I didn't understand that. What did they want me to do? Just go to bed and pull the covers over my head, or sit down in a corner and cry? That never occurred to me. You know, one day somebody said, "Well, you're sick." I said, "I'm not sick. I have breast cancer." I never thought of myself as being sick. That was my choice. That was my mindset. That was my perception. I wasn't going to let that happen to me. And it's very important that when we're going through something like that, that we change what our attitude can be. Attitude is gratitude. If you just think about it, it takes effort. I never say work. I never say problem. I say issue or challenge. But it does take some amount of effort. This kind of stuff doesn't happen overnight. It never will. But if you take one step and make yourself aware of your negative thoughts, maybe you could pivot it, change it, and say, well, what am I supposed to learn here? What's my lesson? What's my blessing? Because sometimes it's a lesson and you don't want to learn the lesson, but sometimes, you know, it's being forced on you where you have to pay attention. The breast cancer made me pay attention. The breast cancer made me change. The breast cancer made me worry less. The breast cancer made me appreciate things and be more grateful. So how do we do it? First of all, I practice my affirmations. I don't know if anybody else does, but affirmations are great. Thank you, universe, for another day. And just go from there. I do 5 gratitude things a day, 5. And when I'm just in bed at night, and if I'm too tired to write in my gratitude journal, because I'm really pretty good with that, just before the lights go out, I say thank you. Remember, I'm only human. I'm not perfect. So I just try to keep it, I do as best as I can. The next thing is in the morning. Before I even get out of bed, I say thank you. And I just let it go. Because I'm pre-paving my day. That's the first thing. I say hello to everybody. I say hello to everyone. Now, I have a question for you guys. Do you ever say hello to people and they look at you like you're crazy?
Definitely.
Yeah, I say hello to everybody just to bring that vibe up. And it's so funny. As a cashier, you know, I say hello to them when I used to be a cashier. My mind's going in 1,000 different directions. But as a cashier, I would always be nice. That was in a high school job a gazillion years ago. But I say hello to cashiers. I say hello to the mailman. I say hello to people that are walking their dog. And they're so shocked that I say, "Hey, good morning. How you doing?" They do, "Good morning." And they kind of hurry away. Isn't that sad? That we can't even say a good morning to somebody without people thinking, you know, what the heck's going on with them? So I always say hello. Don't worry so much anymore. I've got bigger fish to fry just like you do. Let's see what else. I make myself aware of my negative thoughts. I just make myself aware. Do you know how many negative thoughts you have during the day? Thousands. Why would you want to live like that? Why? It just takes a little bit of thinking where you can change and pivot your mindset to something better. This has become a way of life for me, and it didn't happen overnight. I've practiced this for about 30 years. So it's taken a long time to not get mad so quickly. I will tell you when I get mad quickly, when somebody cuts me off. when I'm driving. And it's like da 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 da. It's like, what the? Okay, what am I supposed to learn here? A little bit more patient. I'm learning. You know, it's a process. It's a work in progress, and that's what we all are. Is just a work in progress. And I think I'm going to ask my producer, Anna. You there? Hey, Anna, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are
I have
you?
a question.
How are you?
I'm good. I have a question for you. When somebody says something negative to you, how much does it bother you? What happens? Do you dwell on it?
I do.
And
However, I have to tell myself that I don't control their thoughts, feelings, and their opinions aren't facts. So I really have to breathe before I answer.
That's a really good answer. I think that I'm a dweller too, but I try to see, like you said, see the person and just see where they're coming from and see what they're all about, which I think is really, really key. But now, at this point in my life, if somebody's really, really negative, I limit my time with them. I try to stay away from them. And there are some situations where, say you can't, say if you're in a work situation and it's really negative and people can't leave, to be honest with you, I really don't buy that. They always have a choice. But I limit the time with those people that irritate me. I hate to use that word. That's not positive, but I just keep away from people like that at this point in my life. I have ended 3 friendships that I have known people at least 25 years, and because they were so toxic and all they did was complain, I would try to give them a solution and say, yeah, but what about this? What about that? And they gave me, yeah, but I can't do this. Yeah, but I can't do that. Yeah, but I can't do this. And after a while, I would change the subject. And then I started limiting my time with them just because I want to find the people that lift me up and keep me positive. So, do you practice affirmations at all?
I do.
Do you want to share?
Well,
That's a no. That's okay. Don't worry about it. That's okay. All right.
here's the thing.
Okay.
I talked to my psychiatrist,
Uh-huh.
and the affirmations for me is a little complex, but I have to work on it. So what I do instead is write, and I write a lot. Anything that went through very negative throughout the day, I try and change it into a positive.
Well, you're on the right track. That's perfect. Actually, I wouldn't change a thing with that. There's one other thing I want to make very clear is to stay in a positive vein, I want you also to think about your social connections. They're very, very important. And I'm not talking about the people that that irritate you. I'm talking about getting out and being social. Because a lot of times, a lot of negativity comes from loneliness. And you have to really make an effort to get out and connect with people, either by phone, Skype, Zoom, text, whatever. But it's very important to make connections with people, because otherwise that can just put you down to a slippery slope, even into a state of depression where we never want to be. But staying positive is a conscious effort. It's a choice. And my choices have changed over the past 2 years, as I said, because of what I went through. And it was a crisis. I had to lean into that crisis. I had a choice about that crisis. And I decided that's where I was going to end up. I am very happy to say that I am a breast cancer survivor and looking all good. And I'm very pleased about that. And so is my family and my friends. But the thing is I feel like the bottom line is you have to know that you have a choice in whatever you do. I'm going to tell you a story about a choice. when I went through the chemotherapy, look up at that picture. Look at that gorgeous long blonde hair. I'm just saying, look at that hair. Okay, that was my hair at the beginning of the chemotherapy. Okay, all right. Oh, I love that hair. So there it is. So as I was going through the chemotherapy, somebody suggested get your hair cut short. So I said, okay, get my hair cut short. So I got my hair cut short. Now, I don't know why they told me to get my hair cut short, because the hair kept falling out anyway. Okay, so the hair kept falling out, and then I decided I am going to, love that. I decided I'm going to shave my head. So I shaved my head. So I was just bald as a billiard ball. And it didn't bother me. And I know so many other women that got so upset because they lost their hair. But what I did is I had a choice, and I bought 4 wigs. I bought a va-va-va-boom wig, very short and curly, like, how you doing wig? And then I bought a long wig like that. And the thing is I had a brown, I'm a brunette by nature. I'm a blonde by the bottle. And what I did is I wore wigs for the entire time that I had no hair, and nobody knew I was going through cancer treatments except my inner circle of friends, because I didn't want anybody to throw any negative thoughts my way, as in, I hope it works out. Hope implies doubt, doesn't work for me. You have such a positive attitude. Well, what should I have had? I decided that this was going to be my story, and it was going to be a success story. And that was so very, very important. And then my hair started growing back, and then now this is very long, actually, right now, which grow. But it's going to get there. It's going to take another year or so to get there. And so I am going to get there and wear my ponytail. I came across all my little ponytail things, and I did one of these. I said, okay, it's a start. It's a start. It's a start. But the thing is we always have a choice. We always have a choice. And you can either choose to think positive and look at your life in a positive vein, change what you want to change, make some effort, or you can stay where you are in the muck, what I call the gunk master. The gunk master screws us up at every turn. Why are you stepping out of your comfort zone? You'd be more comfortable there, wouldn't you? No, I'd rather take that little step and go from there. And I think let's go over just very quickly, because I think we're running out of time, okay? Do affirmations. Practice gratitude. Say hello to everybody. Hey, how you doing? Say hello. I like that. Thanks, Anna. Don't worry so much. It doesn't do anything except give you agita, truly, okay? Be aware of your negative thoughts. Pivot them. What am I supposed to learn? What's my blessing? All we have is now. That's all we have is right now. That's it. Now just passed. I love doing that. I know that's now just passed. Well, now it's now. But now it just passed, but now is now. Okay, I know. I could get goofy with that. Make sure you have social connections, okay? There's Facebook, there's Meetup, there's friends of friends. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. That's exactly right, okay? Challenges, you can do it. You have to believe in yourself. Anna, I think we have to say goodbye. Thank you. Anna is my producer. Thank you so much, Anna. You did such great work today. Thank you.
You're very inspirational.
Thank you, Anna. See you soon. Where was I? Okay. Focus on what makes you happy. I have a question for you. Are you happy? How about that? Try asking that to a friend of yours and see what they say. They'll say, well, my family makes me happy. Well, this makes me happy. But are you truly happy of what makes you happy? What would you like to do? What would you like to do with your life? Sometimes you got to think about that. Sometimes you have to take a deep breath and say, is this making me happy? You really have to dig deep sometimes. And sometimes it's not easy. And sometimes we don't like to face some tough truths. Truths. Two Utes. Truths. I'm trying to say that. Truths. I'm trying to say it. It's not working. But once you dig deep and you face your fears, you can get to where you want to be. Everybody deserves to be happy, my friends. Everybody deserves to be happy. And remember, you're not perfect, and neither am I, and nobody's perfect. Be good enough. Have you ever thought about that? Is it okay to be good enough? Good enough. I'm good enough as I am right now. I am perfectly imperfect or perfectly imperfect. Which one would it be? Which one would you choose?
Perfectly imperfect.
There you go. Perfectly imperfect. You got this, everybody. It's just a matter of changing your mindset, changing your perceptions, changing where you want to go in your life. That's it. I would like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Thank you very much for your patience and for your time. This was my virgin tour, so I appreciate your kindness and patience, and I hope that we get to see you again very, very soon. Next week, that's right. Next week, we're going to talk about looking for love in all the wrong places. And been there, done that, wrote the book. How we doing for time? We're good? Thanks, everybody. Blessings. Stay safe. Bye.